Yes. When you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready when you're ready, Omar.
Huh? Can't open the door?
Sorry, can you get me
Oh,
one of these?
forget it. Cause the door, forget it.
Can you get me one of these?
Alhamdulillah. نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن سار سبيله إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. So today inshallah ta'ala we'll be discussing a different topic from what we would normally discuss, which previously we were discussing the topic of Muqtada Sahih Bukhari. But seeing that Ramadan is just a few weeks away, then we'll try to kind of somewhat to discuss a particular book or a particular topic that relates to Ramadan. So that will be the program for the next couple of weeks. So the next couple of weeks, that inshallah ta'ala, the intent is to discuss matters pertaining to Ramadan as a way of getting ourselves prepared and ready for Ramadan. So as for what we'll be doing, as we said, that preparation for Ramadan, and as this particular majlis or this session is bab concerned min bab al-tazkir, as a way of a reminder to ourselves regarding Ramadan and the ahkam that relates to Ramadan. So the last one mentioned, فَذَكِّرْ فَإِنَّ ذِكْرَ تَنْفَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. So it's a reminder to ourselves regarding what are those things that are expected from us in the month of Ramadan. So Ramadan, or the month of Ramadan, come with various ahkam. So would be prudent or be somewhat wise for the Muslim before Ramadan to prepare yourself for the things that will be involved in the month of Ramadan. So those who already have experience, it will become as a reminder, and those who may be new, they become something that we can learn regarding the acts of Ramadan. So and also with this, that we find that the Salaf among the Mashaykh, that they'll try to have lessons that are particular to particular events. So as we are facing Ramadan, about to face Ramadan, that they will have a lesson as a reminder for the people, and also to educate the people regarding the ahkam that relates to Ramadan. So try to keep up that system in place. So as we mentioned, overall is a form of preparation for Ramadan by knowing what is expected from us. And as mentioned by Imam Bukhari rahimahullah, al-ilm qabla qawl al-amal, that the person that involved in ourselves in any act or fulfilling of any act, that we should have knowledge of what we're doing. So things that we wish to do, to perform, or things that we wish to say, that it should be said based upon ilm. So overall, that we want to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala based upon ilm, and knowing and doing things with yaqeen, with certainty. So the purpose of this lesson is, as we said, it's a reminder to ourselves, it's a reminder regarding ahkam al-Ramadan. So ahkam al-Ramadan, it will go over various things. So the ahkam of Ramadan, it includes regarding the main acts of Ramadan, which include siyam, its rules and guidelines. Also matter that relates to Salatul Tarawih, that additional salat that is prayed in Ramadan. Also matter that relates to al-itikaf, that is done at the end of Ramadan. Also matter that relates to zakat al-fitr, that also is done at the end of Ramadan. And also to complete Ramadan, that will also have the act of al-Eid. So Eid being a part of the things of Ramadan. So these are various things that relates to Shahr Ramadan, as we mentioned, Siyam, Qiyam, Salatul Eid, Ittikaf, Zakat. So all these things are related to Ramadan. So inshallah ta'ala, we'll now go into, as for the program that we wish, as I said, we'll be covering for the next couple weeks. So as for starting today, that the program will be that we'll discuss the book that we have chosen to discuss is the book which is Al-Muwatta by Imam Malik rahimahullah. So Imam Malik rahimahullah, and it's of the early books of Hadith. So of the early books of Hadith is the book of Imam Malik rahimahullah that is titled Al-Muwatta. So what we'll be doing, we'll be discussing that particular chapter from the book of Muwatta. So it's the book of Hadith that goes to many topics, but we will be discussing in specific matter that relates to as-siyam and its ahkam. As for what will be, so first we'll start by discussing something regarding Imam Malik rahimahullah, so at least we are aware of the person that will benefit from their knowledge. So Imam Malik, so to have some knowledge and understanding as to who Imam Malik rahimahullah is, and his contribution to Islam, and also as he's the author of the book that we'll be studying. And second, we'll discuss in brief something regarding the book of Muwatta. So in brief, mention certain things regarding the book of Muwatta, and then we'll go into our lesson, which is the lesson plan is that the lesson will go for about 6 weeks at least. So Fridays, Saturday, tomorrow, and also on Mondays. So lesson will cover those 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Mondays, until we end, inshallah ta'ala, this particular book, hopefully bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And as for the style, that we'll use one of the contemporary explanation, as it's more one of the contemporary explanations that guide, but not the only thing that we will stick to. So it'll be just a guide to follow. And also we try to, when the masail are being discussed, to mention the aqwal of the ulama from A'immat al-Arba, and also sometimes others, but not by way of that we rigidly stick to one madhab of the madhahib al-Arba, that we try to benefit from all, see what are the view taken by all the different madhahib, and also try to come to a conclusion at the end. So to see as to which of those views that are more closer to the evidence by way of the matter being discussed, the evidence that has been used, and the evidence that is provided. So that's concerning the method. So we're not per se of those who believe in following that it is wajib to follow madhab. We do not per se hold to that opinion, but rather to benefit from the A'immah. And but in the end, if there's a difference, to see which of the views are more correct, and we go with that particular view. That concerns a program that we'll be following, inshallah ta'ala. So as we mentioned, the first is the matter that relates to Imam Malik rahimahullah. So the first discussing concerning Imam Malik rahimahullah. So as for the author, so the book of the Imam Malik rahimahullah. So as for the author, that is kunya Abu Abdullah. So Abu Abdullah, his name Malik ibn Anas ibn Abi Amir al-Asbahi al-Madani. So Abu Abdullah Malik ibn Anas ibn Abi Amir al-Asbahi al-Madani. So al-Madani is a name that is used regarding that people of the city of Medina. So the people of Medina, that they refer to as al-Madani. That is referred to as Hujjatul Islam, or is of those that is given various titles, but the more famous of his title that Imam Dal Hijra. So of his more famous of his title that you refer to as Imam Dal Hijra, regarding concerning Dal Hijra being Medina. So he's of those, the people of Medina, that overall concerning the majority of the ulama are of the views that they believe that as for the year that he was born, they mentioned it was the year 94 al-Hijri. So you're born the year 94, 93 al-Hijri, and that he grew in Medina, and that was the year that he grew up from Medina. And Imam Malik rahimahullah, of those ulama that per se didn't travel far out, didn't per se travel a lot, he mainly reside in Medina. Of his renown of his shuyukh, they mentioned concerning Imam Malik rahimahullah, another of the books that Imam Malik rahimahullah, that as a child that he starts seeking knowledge from an early age. Now, regarding concerning learning, to start learning from an early age, and to the extent that he was like without his father and his mother, that she was the one who kind of somewhat push him regarding ilm, and also pointed him regarding that direction, regarding Rabi al-Rahi, one of his teachers, that she would send him to Rabi al-Rahi so as to learn from him, so encouragement from his mother. And also they mentioned that when he started learning, that his mother, that she will dress him in a way concerning that libas al-ilm, that he is to dress, well, he was a student then, but as for him that also he should dress in a manner of the people of ilm. So regarding concerning the student of knowledge, there's a manner in which they dress, so they have that type of particular look, that are how they present themselves as a talib al-ilm. So for the talib al-ilm, kind of somewhat to pay attention regarding how he presents himself, regarding how he dresses. So as I said, they have their own like dress code that a talib al-ilm should be mindful of. And also regarding concerning that, I will be similar regarding concerning the teacher. So also regarding the teacher, that is a dress code. So the person generally concerning that is dress code, that he wear the clothing of Islam as a talib al-ilm, that he should always consider that wear the clothing of Islam, that can recognize, he can be immediately recognized as a Muslim. And also ideally concerning that, so, and also covering of the head for the talib al-ilm, that also of those things that cover of the head. So these are concerning the general dress code of the talib al-ilm. And also mention that is clothing according to the sunnah, regarding that, that isbal, where his clothing is dragging on the floor, but above his ankle and the likes. So Imam Malik rahimahullah, of those early things that he was taught, as his mom told him concerning, she sent him to sit with Rabi al-Rahi, that of those things for him to learn at the early age is akhlaq. So of the early thing that she want regarding concerning qabla al-ilm al-adab, that before you learn the knowledge of al-Rabi'a from your teachers, first also try to learn regarding their adab, their way of conduct and their behavior. So the talib in general and the teacher have to be mindful regarding concerning that, of those things that would be also a part of the lesson. And that is the information that is given, but also the conduct of the teacher and also the conduct of the student. So that also is something for the talib to be mindful of regarding that one's conduct and of those things. That so it becomes important that a person is mindful regarding the people that we take from and study with. That those people, that their conduct is proper and outstanding regarding their conduct and their behavior. So Imam Malik rahimahullah, of those things his mom kind of emphasized at the early age, that he learned from his teacher. The first that he learned is regarding their adab wal akhlaq. So that's something that imperative regarding the student, that and also for the teacher, that his student will be, as they say, maybe a reflection of him at times, that the student may be a reflection of the teacher. Then I mentioned regarding concerning Imam Malik rahimahullah, that as mentioned, I think he grew up in the city of Medina, and also most of his shuyukh from Al-Medina. Then they mentioned regarding of his more renowned of his teachers, that they mentioned Nafi' Mawla ibn Umar, who died according they mentioned 118 or 117 al-Hijri. Also they mention of his teachers Muhammad ibn Munkadir al-Qurashi Taymi, who died 130. Muhammad ibn Muslim ibn Shihab al-Zuhri. So one of the Imam of Ahl al-Hadith was Muhammad ibn Muslim ibn Shihab al-Zuhri, who they mentioned died 125. And also Ayub al-Sakhtayani and others. So that's of his teachers in brief. So a few of his teachers. So said also of the tradition of the student or for an imam, that he would also go through the process, which is at some point for a person to be an imam or an alim, that at some point he was a student. So no one overnight becomes an alim. So he has to go through a process, and after that process, that he himself also have a record of, he have studied with others. So Imam Malik rahimahullah, that he studied with Nafi' Mawla ibn Umar, also Muhammad ibn Munkadir al-Qurashi al-Taymi, also Muhammad ibn Muslim ibn Shihab al-Zuhri, and also mentioned here Ayub al-Sakhtayani alayhim rahmatullah tabarak wa ta'ala. Then I mentioned also from those who also you find that even some of his teachers, that they also narrate on him, from him. So you find that things so of Imam Malik rahimahullah, also from his teachers, that they also narrated from him. But overall, they mention regarding of his more renowned of his students, they mention Muhammad ibn Idris al-Shafi'i. So of his renowned student, Imam al-Shafi'i rahimahullah, Muhammad ibn Idris al-Shafi'i. Also of his renowned, and Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah, he died 204 al-Hijri. Also of his students, renowned students, Sufyan al-Thawri. So Sufyan al-Thawri rahimahullah, who died 161. Sufyan ibn Uyayna, so you have Sufyanain. Sufyan al-Thawri was Sufyan ibn Uyayna. So Sufyan ibn Uyayna, one of his students, also who died 198 al-Hijri. So those of his renowned students, some of his students. Then as for the year that he died, and Imam Malik rahimahullah, that as an alim, an imam, that he was known regarding matters, he can somewhat exceed in the area concerning hadith wal fiqh, of those who exceed in the area of hadith wal fiqh. So, and that's what said, no, and other areas. So you might find that if an alim that he excel in the area of hadith. So regarding concerning the science of hadith and what relates to ilm al-hadith, that he excel in this area, and also coupled with this, that also he excel in fiqh, then that is an alim of, that's the cream of the crop. So an alim who is known to be, that he excel in hadith. So you find an alim that excel in fiqh and usul al-fiqh, and also he is renowned and excel in the area of hadith and usul al-hadith, and also lugha, then he's at the top of the class. You find an alim who have all those characteristics, then he's top of the class. So said that Imam Malik rahimahullah, that he excel in hadith, and also this book is a sign of this, where this book, as we will discuss, it contains concerning hadith and also al-fiqh. So Imam Malik rahimahullah also very precise regarding narrations. So very precise regarding narration. So I said overall that he said to be, and also the Imam Malik rahimahullah, because of he excel in hadith, that he said to be one of the founder attributing regarding the madhab of al-Maliki. So he said to be Imam Malik rahimahullah, one of the founders of the four madhahib that we have today, with others that exist also alongside before. So you have these of the four madhahib that Imam Malik rahimahullah is said to be the founder, or what is of one of the four madhahib al-fiqhiyya that we know today. So Imam Malik rahimahullah, that he died the year 179, al-Hijri. So as we mentioned, so that's concerning the author in general, in brief. So Imam Malik rahimahullah in brief, that he died 179 al-Hijri. And of his works, concerning of his contribution, is this book, Al-Muwatta. They mentioned they have other works, but of his more renowned work is Al-Muwatta. And Al-Muwatta, as the ulama mentioned regarding concerning that, is considered to be one of the main books of hadith, a very important book in hadith. So as we said that before, maybe said that concern that for any talib al-ilm and also for a general Muslim, that there's at least 7 books of hadith that we should know of these books. 7 books of hadith that for the talib al-ilm, he should have copies of them. For the talib al-ilm, he should have copy. As for the general Muslim, and as for the general Muslim, he should be aware of these 7 books, because these 7 books are said to know, these are the primary books of hadith. They are the more renowned books of hadith. I said, Kutub al-Sab'a. What are they? Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, Sunan Abu Dawud, Jami' al-Tirmidhi, Sunan Nasa'i, Sunan Ibn Majah, and Al-Muwatta. So these books that every Muslim can say, no, these are the primary books regarding hadith. I'll repeat again.
What about Muslim?
I would say, no, for now as a starting, I'm saying for the general Muslim. So say the Talib al-Ilm, you may add regarding Al-Musnad wa Darimi, but those will be Kutub al-Tis'a. But for the Talib al-Ilm, so say for the Talib al-Ilm, yes, that you may add others. But for the general mass of the Muslim, the general public of the Muslim, then at least these 6 or these 7 should be somewhat, we are aware of them, not the person have to memorize, we're not saying the person have to memorize these books, but at least you are familiar, that you are aware of these 6 or these 7 books of hadith. Again, Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, which ones? Abu Dawud, Tirmidhi, Nasa'i, Ibn Majah, and Muwatta. Because these are the ones that are generally mentioned. These are the ones that are normally mentioned. So for the talib, so say for the talib, those for sure he should have a copy. Not on his laptop, or have an app, but he have a hard copy. I would say with each of those books an explanation, that's a separate discussion. But overall, regarding concerning Al-Muwatta is of those who said, one, as we discussed concerning the book of Muwatta, that we said one of the early books of hadith that have reached us. So Al-Muwatta, if Imam Malik rahimahullah, that's one of the earlier books of hadith that have reached us. Then as for the book of Muwatta of Imam Malik rahimahullah, so it is regarding as initially, between the ulama, the discussion regarding of Kutub al-Sitta, Muwatta was included in one of those books. So it was Kutub al-Khamsa, initially, Bukhari, Muslim, Abu Dawud, Tirmidhi, wal Nasa'i. These were Khutub al-Khamsa. Then Kutub al-Sitta, you have no discussion as to which book to be added to that list to make it 6 books. Of those who mentioned Muwatta is of the 6th. So Ibn Athir in his book Al-Jami' al-Usul, that he mentioned Muwatta, not Ibn Majah. So of those books that are considered to be Kutub al-Sitta, initially Muwatta, it is one of Kutub al-Sitta with the exception of Ibn Majah. Then you have others than Ibn Majah. So what is now established is that Ibn Majah is one. So you have even concerned Ad-Darimi being the 6th. So we have that discussion regarding, initial discussion regarding which is the 6th amongst Kutub al-Sitta. We said Muwatta was of those one that was mentioned and considered to be from Kutub al-Sitta, from some of the ulama. But the thing that had become established after a while, then Ibn Majah, based upon it contained more ahadith that were not mentioned in other books, in those other 5 books, compared to Al-Muwatta. So that's become now the established thing. So said, no, it is one of Kutub al-Sitta. It's formed as one of the early books, even considered to be one of Kutub al-Sitta, but then it becomes Kutub al-Sab'a. So the 7 books, then it becomes the 7th. Then also now of the early books of hadith. They mentioned regarding Imam Malik rahimahullah that the reason behind authoring of this book. So the reason why compiling of this book by Imam Malik rahimahullah. So you have of one that you have different aqwal or different things. They stated that Imam Malik rahimahullah, that he was approached by the Khalifa during his time from the Abbasiyya, was Abu Ja'far al-Mansur. So Abu Ja'far al-Mansur was the Khalifa of the Muslim, the head of state of the Muslim then, that he approached Imam Malik rahimahullah to compile a book where he could use as it would be the book that would be to be taught and to be followed by the Muslim. So it become like the official book to be taught by the Muslims and to be followed. So he asked Imam Malik rahimahullah to compile a book, and then that will be the official book to be followed. Imam Malik rahimahullah refuses, did the work, but refused regarding it being the standard book to be followed. Because I mentioned you have ulama in different places may mention things of ahadith that I may not be aware of. And that shows concerning humility of Imam Malik rahimahullah. That he had the opportunity for his book to become the standard book to be followed by everyone. But knowing concern that you have ilm, meaning concerning matters regarding hadith wal athar, that other people may be aware of, that may have, that he may not have access to those things. And also show that you know that knowledge does not revolve around me as one person. That is ilm, it doesn't revolve around me. That you have other ulama in different region. So we cannot per se dismiss what they may, their contribution. So it shows concerning the humility of Imam Malik rahimahullah. So overall, they mentioned Abu Ja'far al-Mansur, that can somewhat have this idea regarding this book to be the standard book to be followed. Then also you find that and others that they mentioned, another of the Khalifa also put the same idea. Also they mentioned of the second, another reason regarding putting this book together, Imam Malik rahimahullah, that it was pointed to him regarding concerning that one of the ulama was Ibn Majishun, that Ibn Majishun, that he have wrote, that time you have others who was writing other books of hadith. So he was just one of others. Imam Malik rahimahullah, you have other book that was titled Muwatta. And we'll explain concerning that others who have compiled other works. So they asked Imam Malik, who comes to that Ibn Majishun compiled a book as Muwatta, that and he looked at it, then he believed that concerning to know that he could have done something a little bit different from what has been mentioned. So he compiled his book together. So he saw it was available and believed that he could add something. So he compiled his work as a part of that contribution. So Imam Malik rahimahullah, he wrote this book of Al-Muwatta based upon what he saw, that he wanted to add things regarding not only hadith wal athar, regarding different matters. So the reason behind as to what they mentioned, why he compiled this book, Al-Muwatta. So it showed that an alim, because others have written, doesn't mean that a person also cannot still present something and give his contribution. Also, they mentioned regarding concerning Ism al-Kitab, the name of the book. So the book has become widely known as Al-Muwatta or Muwatta al-Malik. Al-Muwatta or Muwatta Malik. So they said, as for the name Al-Muwatta, that they give two understanding regarding the reason behind the naming of the book. Al-Muwatta regarding Muwafaq, that concern that they mentioned concern that Al-Muwatta, Tawafaq, that you find that what he compiled is something that was agreed upon by the people of Medina. So what he mentioned is thing that was agreed upon, or somewhat people that agreed upon by those, the ulama, the Mashaykh of Medina. They mentioned that he presented this book to over 70 of the ulama of Medina. And they gave approval of the book. So they agreed with him regarding what he have wrote, and said the people that he presented the book to us, the fuqaha of Medina. So he said in Medina you have 70 fuqaha. In a Muslim world today, to find 70 fuqaha of a certain of the highest level, then Allah mustan. None. But overall, that he presented the book, as I mentioned, أردت كتابها هذا على 70 فقيه من فقهاء المدينة. That he presented his book that he wrote to over 70 of the ulama in Medina, for them to somewhat to look at the book, and that they all agreed with him. They agree upon the book, and in general they agree upon the book, and the book was called Al-Muwatta, meaning that these others of the ulama who agreed with what I have put together in this book. And also it shows regarding that they said that the tradition of the ulama of the Salaf, that Imam Malik rahimahullah, when he wrote this book of Muwatta, then he can somewhat still present it to others to read through it and can somewhat give their input regarding the book. So others to critique the book. So it shows that a person writing at times, that to have others to critique that book before he can somewhat publish it without anyone critiquing it. So the ulama before, they will have this way of others critiquing their books before it is published and put out. Then also they mention regarding concerning al-muwatta, meaning concerning tasahul, that something being easy. Now of the meaning of muwatta, sahl, something being easy. So he try to present the book in a way which is somewhat simple, in a simplified way. Try to present the book in a simplified way. So make it easy for the people concerned, for the people somewhat to appreciate the book and to able to understand the book. You can somewhat try to put in a simplified way regarding studying of fiqh. As for the mawdu' of the kitab, after the topic of this book of Muwatta is a book that al-Muwatta'at, that you find at ulama of hadith, that they have what they call concerning manahij at-ta'lif. So the ulama of hadith, they have different ways in which that they structure their books. With me? So we have different manahij, different approach regarding how to structure a book. So you find concern that Muwatta is one of the system or one of the method of how to compile a book. So you have al-Jawama, you have Sunan. So al-Muwatta'at, they are something similar to as-Sunan. So books of as-Sunan is mainly focused on matters regarding al-fiqh. So books of the Sunan, they are books structured in a way more so to discuss matters that relates to fiqh by way of things of ibadat and also mu'amalat, and also things concerning and hudud al-akhlaq. So books of Muwatta is a fiqh approach regarding discussing concerning matters relating to that regarding concerning fiqh related matters. With the book of Muwatta of Imam Malik rahimahullah, they discuss regarding concerning that adl hadith, concerning how much hadith is contained in the book of Muwatta. With Muwatta of Imam Malik rahimahullah, that was said on the early books. So you find that many of his isnad have only between him and the Prophet ﷺ few individuals. 2, at times 3, very few individuals. So one of the isnad said, by way of books of hadith concerning that isnad is Ali. It's not considered to be Ali, meaning between you and the Prophet ﷺ, very few, the less people, then the more the book of a higher standing. The more the book of a higher standing, that have less people between the author and the Prophet ﷺ. So his book, we mentioned it now, 2, 3 narrators. As for books of hadith, that what we find with books of hadith, and amongst them the book of Muwatta, Imam Malik rahimahullah, that when he wrote a book, it took him 40 years to compile this book. 40 years. So the main way that you mentioned, people come and study this book, read this book for 4 days, 5 days, and it took me 40 years to put this book together. But people come after the book have been compiled, then sometimes people come and say, and will sit and they'll read through everything. And that may take just a few days. So I said, few days to read the book, then you haven't fully understand the book. Now, you have majalis al-qiraat, where people just read a book of hadith. Now, I get ijazah, as we have discussed this before. So that principle was there, but is mainly kind of somewhat to cover the book, to cover the entire book from start through to the end. But without per se ponder over discussing the masail of the book. Now, so Imam Malik rahimahullah, it took him over 40 years to kind of put this book together, and also he would teach the book as he finished, that he would constantly be teaching the same book. So at times he would change certain things, restructure certain things, remove certain things, add certain things, because it was not constantly teaching the book, so he would alter certain things, certain minor things. Now, so as for the adad, so you find that with each book of hadith that have the isnad, 2 isnad. Books of hadith have 2 isnad. The isnad from the author to the Prophet ﷺ. So you have the isnad from the author to either the Prophet ﷺ or to the Sahaba. That's the normal, what he have compiled. Now then you have the isnad of the book. With me? So you have the isnad of the book. So when he compiled this book, for example, the book is compiled, they have his own isnad regarding people who have studied the book with Imam Malik. Those who are they are the transmitter or narrators of the book. They become now the transmitter of the so Imam Bukhari, Muslim, all the books of hadith have something similar. Who are those people who have transmitted that book of Imam Bukhari to others? Now, so Imam Malik rahimahullah, because that is a book that he was always working on, that he has many narrators. So you find that even the prints of Muwatta, that they vary. So they vary, so you have concerning that, so you have various, not print, various transmission of the book of Muwatta. They call it riwayat. So you have where different students, based upon what they learned or what they heard from Imam Malik, that's what they collected. And then they will go to their respective cities and they will narrate what they have learned. So you have different riwayat. And that also, these different riwayat in a different prints, they might find that difference in the different prints. So you don't have one standard print. You have different prints, all are valid. Are most part. So the one that is beyond this one, you have a laythi. So of the things concerning a person who in hadith, you have tried to collect all the different prints. All different prints, or prints, different prints, not of different narrate or transmission of al-Muwatta. So you have this one which is Yahya al-Laythi, Yahya ibn Yahya al-Laythi, one of the common ones that is there. Also, of the students of Imam Malik rahimahullah, Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Shaybani. Who is that? Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Shaybani. Who is that? The companion of Imam Abu Hanifa. So he was of the students of Imam Malik. So he has his own riwayah of Muwatta. So because of this, you'll find that Muwatta amongst the Hanafi is explained and given attention. So you have explanation of Muwatta by the Ahnaf, and they mainly kind of somewhat explain the one by Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Shaybani, because he's Hanafi. So they give that attention. Now, so since you have various, you have Al-Qanabi, you have Abu Mus'ab, and others that are there regarding different narration of Al-Muwatta. So the different Muwatta that are in print may have different, consider the amount of hadith may varies. Now, it may vary, some smaller of what we have, some larger, but so it's Al-Muwatta of Imam Malik rahimahullah, based upon this particular print, that you have different abwab, the different of the abwab that he mentioned, different kitab, different chapters of Muwatta according to this print of Yahya ibn Yahya al-Laythi, that it goes up to آخر أبواب mention Kitab Asma al-Nabi. The last chapter in this book, or the last kitab in the book, Kitab Asma al-Nabi alayhi salam. Then, so it will have 61 books. Now, then after books you have chapters. So they have books, main book, then that main book will have different chapters, sub-chapters. So in this book he has, so for this one, for example, he start concerning as a separate chapter, Wuqut as-Salat, meaning Waqt as-Salat. That's the first that he opens with. And it was said that he ends with Kitab Asma al-Nabi alayhi salam. Also, he have chapter regarding concerning that this book of Muwatta said is a book of what? More of a book in the line of fiqh, matter that discussed. So you might not find much discussion regarding, even though it concerns now, matter that relates to what? Aqidah. But he has a chapter concerning Kitab al-Qadr. So at times, these books of Sunan Abi Dawud, they might have Kitab al-Sunnah wal-Qadr, they might still include that chapter, even though it may not discuss concerning matter that relates to Aqidah in depth. Because it's mainly the book, mainly the book is the cover matters regarding al-fiqh. But it might still include matter regarding Aqidah, some matters that believed to be pertinent to be discussed. For example, in this book you have concerning that Kitab Sifat al-Nabi alayhi salam, which concerning Shama'il, but referred to as Shama'il, Kitab al-Istidhan, al-Salam, al-Ru'ya, al-Ain, al-Bay, Kitab al-Kalam. So you have these different chapters, Kitab Jahannam, Kitab al-Sadaqa, Kitab al-Ilm, Kitab al-Dawat al-Madlum. So these are the chapters that he has. So you have over 61 chapters in this particular print. So the different chapters may vary depending on which riwayah of al-Muwatta. According to this one, that it has over close to 2,000 hadith. According to this, the number now 1,952 hadith. We're going to concern the statement that's concerned the book. After the method of the book, that Imam Malik rahimahullah, that he'll mention a hadith upon the Prophet alayhi salam. Also he mentioned aqwal of the Sahaba, mawkufat upon the Sahaba, and also is aqwal, and also from the Salaf. So at times we mention hadith al-Nabawiyah, athar al-Sahaba, wa aqwal al-ulama, and also is view. And also is view on certain things, on some of those masail. As for Kitab as-Salah, Kitab we're discussing, Kitab al-Siyam. So they mentioned Kitab al-Siyam. As for that, they mentioned that Kitab al-Siyam, that account is chapter 18 in this one, chapter 18 in this. So Kitab would be a chapter or the book 18. It includes after then discuss Kitab al-Siyam, they meant Kitab al-Ittikaf. So also he put Ittikaf as a separate chapter, as a separate kitab. So as for Kitab al-Siyam, according to this numbering, where they mentioned concerning the numbering most concerning Ahadith wal Athar, without aqwal of Imam Malik, that they mention that over 60, just over 60, that's about 60 Ahadith wal Athar. That Kitab al-Siyam. As for Ittikaf, then I mentioned over 16 hadith. So inshallah ta'ala, so that's concerning in brief regarding the book. As for explanation of the book of Al-Muwatta, that you have many explanation, but the more renowned of those explanation, that two stands out. And these two that stands out, they become concerning in Ilm al-Hadith, that they consider to be of books, Kutub al-Shur al-Ahkam, they are like the masterpiece. So you have so you have the different shuru. You have one of the ulama who's Ibn Abdul Barr. So you have Ibn Abdul Barr rahimahullah, one of the ulama of Andalus, that he have two explanation of, he have many works on Muwatta. So of the two renowned of his explanation is At-Tamheed and also Istizkar. And it's supposed to be, I thought I brought it out, but didn't. So you have, this is Tamheed. Nam, then you have istizkar. Nam, this is, you have different prints of tamheed. Nam, like the more different prints than recent print. It's about 20 volume. That's tamheed by itself. Istizkar also about 20 volume.
Ibn Abdul Badir Mukhtasar, where he did Tamheed, Istisqar, and did it.
No, he didn't make Muqtasar. Others have done. So others came and done. So you can somewhat what he did also concern that said. So in the we have a hadith, we have mawquf, we have matter concerning mawqufat. He removed and he have book where he can somewhat only discuss those only of a hadith only and drop everything else of aqwal Imam Malik, aqwal of the Salafi, drop that only stick only to hadith. So also he did some work like that. Nam.
So this for the Maliki, this is like Muqmin for the Hanafi.
You could say that, even though they don't per se. They have the other source regarding concerning that other source that they more rely upon. But this will be, you understand? So this is a book concerning Tamheed or Istizkar. So Tamheed, that is more in line concerning that the way of a person who specializes in hadith. So he changed the order of the book, of the original book of Muwatta, and so he changed it. So, but it's a bit in depth, more for a person concerned that he goes into detail regarding matter regarding isnad, and bring other riwayat, and then what can be taken. But it's for a person that, a very important book. So I said no, Tamheed is like the of those books that explain hadith. Kutub al-Ahadith al-Ahkam, it will be the book, the mother book. Then you have Istizkar, that's more concerned of way of the fuqaha. So like a continuation, but more detail regarding the khilafat between the ulama and some of these masail. But two important books, but for a advanced student. So a person may have Tamheed as a non-advanced student because one day hope that book would be something that you can benefit from properly. So for now, just on your bookshelf, waiting to be properly read.
20 volumes.
Huh?
20 volumes.
Hey, 20 volumes. Yeah, but then what time is it? Because I'm missing, because I can't see the time from there. Huh?
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah.
Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu rasulillah wa ba'd. So said in coming to so said as for the shuru of al-Muwatta, we said we have Ibn Abdul Bar rahimahullah, his book at-Tamheed wa Istizkar, two important books. Then also you have al-Muntaqa, Shar al-Muwatta, li Abi Walid al-Baji al-Andalusi, who died so Ibn Abdul Bar rahimahullah, that he died 463. Al-Baji, of those who explain al-Muwatta, also, he has Al-Baji, Al-Andalusi, he died 474. And others. And you have others that I've explained. Al-Muwatta, where is it? So also you have this one concerning that Al-Masalik, fi Shar Al-Muwatta, Al-Malik. So you have this one also. So this one regarding concern that the method of how it is explained, that this is by Qadi Iyad. This is by Qadi Iyad, rahimahullah ta'ala. So Qadi Iyad rahimahullah, that he explained al-Muwatta, but his system regarding how his layout of the book is like of someone of contemporary time. So how we can somewhat, his explanation how the book is laid out is as if of someone of contemporary time. So he'll mention, we thought we'd have started the book today, but he mentioned regarding concern, for example, that the layout, which hadith, so he discussed the hadith, mentioned that he will discuss concerning matter regarding isnad. So the first thing that he will discuss regarding, so if his method, he will discuss concerning isnad. So discuss concerning isnad of the hadith, or matter regarding concerning whether it are authentic or not. Then he will discuss matters regarding al-fiqh. So he mentioned al-fiqh, sita masail. So regarding concerning the fiqh, and also discuss concerning al-Arabiya, concerning the meaning of certain words. Then you discuss concerning, as for the masail, said al-fiqh, fi sita masail. So he mentioned concerning that as for this particular hadith, that what can be taken from it, you kind of focus on 6 masail. Then you can somewhat go through those masail. That's the masail, they mentioned masail al-ula, wa thani, wa thalitha, wa masail al-rabi, and you can somewhat go through that method. So it said that method, as to how he laid the book out, is something that is more, it said, is a style that is more followed today, but something that adopted from long time ago. So Qadi Iyad rahimahullah, he died 543. But that method, as to how he explained the book, is something of old, but now it is a standard followed today. That standard, the standard that is followed today, but it shows concern the ulama of, he said, those ones who can somewhat that add that system in place and that method regarding how to explain their books. Then also mentioned al-Nukat al-Usuliyya, also discussed concerning matters regarding ilm al-Usul. So Qadi Iyad also can somewhat from the hadith that any points that relates to usul or ilm usul, he'll also discuss those masail. So it become an important book regarding this matter. Then also you have a contemporary. So you find that majority of the ulama, you have a lot of the Malikiyya, the ulama of the Malikiyya have explained the book of Muwatta, and also Ahnaf. And also you find that the Ahnaf, that they have also several explanation of those one that goes into detail. They have Awjaz al-Masalik, fi Sharh Muwatta Imam Malik, so Kandahlawi. So you have many of the ulama are of those from the who said that the Hanafis also have explained al-Muwatta. Then you find of contemporaries who have also explained al-Muwatta, and maybe more using some of the works of the Muasir, of those of contemporary. So you find of those of the contemporary who have explained the book of Muwatta, that you find that are in print. That are in print. Then we have Shaykh Sa'd al-Shitri. So no, Shaykh Sa'd al-Shitri, Hafidhullah Ta'ala, that he has an explanation. So we can somewhat use that as the main text with addition from other sources. So Sa'd al-Shitri, because we got that one. Another one that is by Shaykh Abdul Kareem al-Khudair. That one also a contemporary. So both have explained the book. So Shaykh Sa'd al-Shitri, Hafidhullah, his books regarding how he explained things in his book, it's more like very simple and more of the structure that is well known today, where we'll use kind of somewhat his book, and also with addition, and also a certain masahil that we might go back to tamheed or istizkar at times, depending. And also we have a book called Mawsu' al-Fiqh ala Madhahib al-Arba. So regarding concerning certain masail that we might mention aqwal of the ulama from A'immat al-Arba or Madhahib al-Arba. And we said that so as just to be familiar with the aqwal of the A'imma. Not that in the sense of so appreciate regarding their contribution and their qawl and their position on certain masail, not that we're ta'assub to any of them, not that we blind follow any of them and rigidly stick to one particular madhab, but in those things that they differ between themselves, that we examine what is mentioned regarding concerning their views and their take on the matter, and then we see which of those views are maybe closer to the evidence that seems to be more correct. So that would be the method regarding how we approach regarding these lessons, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. We had hope, but qadarullah ma sha, that to start the book actually tonight, but time kind of somewhat run out. So tomorrow, inshallah ta'ala, we go straight into books. So I said today the introduction, so I said enough a normal thing regarding that any book, especially concerning the books of hadith, and any book that you're going to have certain letters kind of somewhat to know of the art of the book that want to benefit from his ilm, as you understand. So know the person that have contributed, and also for that we know what are the no reliable sources. So none of the books is known concerning this book a reliable source as a reference. And this is by knowing the author, and also second, by the book concerning what the book actually contains. And also that we can know concerning on this particular book, we study this particular book, from this particular author. So can someone mention concerning the book on the author and the method that will be followed regarding what to be discussed. I said not the book. This lesson is not per se anything hopefully new to most, but min bab tazkir, but by way of somewhat as a reminder regarding concerning especially concerning those who have done Ramadan before. It's just a reminder before Ramadan as a form of preparation regarding somewhat to renew regarding what we are aware of, what is mentioned in the books of the ulama, and also if a person is new, then the person benefit from something which is from the information. A person will benefit from the information. So that inshallah ta'ala will end for today and continue tomorrow at what? 5:30. So 5:30 inshallah tomorrow. I will say it will be Fridays, Saturdays. So Fridays this time 6:30. Saturday at 5:30. After Maghrib. So right after Maghrib we go into it. So try to start on timer. And the third lesson would be on Mondays, 6:30. So that inshallah ta'ala will be posted now. Hopefully take about 6 lessons. Hopefully can finish about 6 lessons. If not, then we add if needed. We'd add if needed. So concerning Kitabu Siyam, hopefully can complete Kitabu Siyam at least to start before Ramadan. Then then Babul Ittikaf, and also Zakat al-Fitr. So try to cover those bab. As for Taraweeh, then we'll see. But as for those main ones, Siyam, Zakat al-Fitr, and we said, what else we said? Ittikaf. Aywa. As with Muwatta, he discussed Ittikaf right after Siyam. So after we finish Siyam, we shall go into Ittikaf, and then Zakat al-Fitr, wa billahi ta'ala tawfiq.